Yo, yo, yo. This is actually part two. I wanted to turn the camera around. I noticed whenever I do a front facing, I'm looking to the left and it's not as clear as this 4K. So anyhow, just wanted to give you guys an update on this 15-month journey into my Natty Dreadlock Journey. It's been an amazing experience, since I began this back and starting from a fade, taper fade, all the way to what you see here 15 months later. And it's been an amazing journey. I can't lie. Got to educate myself on quite a few things, see my hair change every time I washed my hair, which today is every Sunday, once a week, it's just been an amazing thing. Finding patience, honestly, challenge myself with patience and acceptance, being self-aware and having some acceptance for myself and others, and, just finding a place of peace, really enjoying myself and walking away from the quote-unquote norms, of what hair is supposed to look like, what we're supposed to look like, and embracing myself for what it is, Yeah, even this facial hair, growing this out, So, as you know, this is 15 months in, and needless to say, today's my wash day. It's Sunday. I'm 2 days late. November 13th. Normally I would have done this on November 11th, since the 11th of August is when I began this journey. And I try to update people on or around that, so I'm still on time because it's around that. And that's okay too, just doing things to the best of my ability. So with that being said, I'm going to take you on a little tour around my head, see some of these latest things, like this one. Let me find it. This one's probably my favorite one so far. But there's this other one right here that I'm loving as well. It's flat. I got the feeling it's going to end up being a ribbon, like the Bayfall Muslims out in Senegal. Speaking of the Bayfall Muslims in Senegal, anybody who's interested in learning about them, anybody who's interested in learning about them, go check out Not Nation. He has a entry on the Bayfall Muslims out in Senegal. Thought it was pretty cool because my family comes from that region. Most Africans, Americans, most black people in the United States, Canada, South America, Central America, most of us that made that trip on that boat come from the western region. You know what I mean? I have Fula blood in me on the maternal side. I refuse to do my own blood test. You know what I mean? But anyhow, on the maternal side, I know they have Fula and a couple other things like that. But all my family comes from like the Sierra Leone region, the Nigeria region, things like that, So, yeah, West Africa. So, anyhow, getting back to this, that's going to be, I believe, a ribbon like that. Have this little flat that I really like a lot as well, right here. I don't know if you guys can see this because I'm not able to see the screen. But yeah, those are some of my favorites. Have this one right here that is joined up. I don't know. I'm going to turn it sideways. Maybe you can see the two that have combined. And this one's right on top of it. But there's a lot of, as I was talking to you guys probably about a month ago, my hair was not locking on top. And it's starting to get to that point. I have this little sprout right here. Little one right here, and I have this one back here, and they always start off small like that, and then all these little loose hairs start to like choose one of these to go to, and they've been getting thicker, which is how this has ended up thicker. This has ended up thicker. The ribbon one that I'm expecting to become a ribbon it's a flat, but it's a ribbon because it's going to end up waving like a ribbon. I got the feeling that all these small ones are going to start to combine. The little coils are going to combine with those and make them bigger. Going back to today being my wash day, one of the things that I did today, because I was dealing with some what it is, like, I don't know, particles in my hair, some white particles. It could be skin. It could be like some leftover shampoo is what I'm thinking it possibly is, or dry skin. I don't know, because we're getting to the colder months now here in Denver, Colorado. And quite frankly, you know, it could be that as well. Doesn't really matter. But today I started off my wash, washed it with Free the Roots soap, hand bar soap, and I used the lemon one. I don't have the exact name of it, but I used that one and it works pretty well. I liked it. I washed my hair twice with warm water and so forth like that, rinsed it out, did it again, rinsed it out very well with warm water. Got all as much as possible, because as I said, I was wondering if those white particles were soap or something like that. So I made sure I thoroughly scrubbed my hair, agitated my hair, got any possible dry skin, knocking that off the list, and the soap, just make sure I thoroughly washed it. And then I was actually grabbing my actual individual dreads and scrubbing those like with the fingertips, not, just trying to make sure that everything was out, so I wouldn't see that. So yeah, with that being said, I did that real thorough. I followed up the two shampoos with the soap bar with, first thing I always do is the Free the Roots ACV rinse spray. Did that, let that set in my hair for about 5 minutes. And, I usually have music playing in the background. So whenever I'm playing music, I usually let 2 songs go. That should be enough time to cover 5 minutes. Might be over, might be right under, or something like that. But, not looking for perfection. That's another thing I learned along this journey. Not looking for perfection. Just allowing things to be. And that's okay. All right. So anyhow, after those 2 songs play, I rinsed that out with cold water. Speaking of cold water, after I rinsed out my hair, the shampoo bar, I need to go back to shampoo bar. You start off with warm water. You want to get that out as thoroughly as possible, and then you want to cool it down as cold as possible. So what I like to do is I like to take my water faucet all the way down to cold. The pressure drops. When I feel the pressure drop, I bring it right back up to where I feel a little bit of pressure, like almost full pressure, but it's nowhere near hot. And that just sprays it real thoroughly. It has a more powerful spray, but it's cold. And you could just feel your hair just like tightening up, and your whole hair and scalp and body's like, you're cold, shaking and stuff. But by the time I'm done with this whole process of the day, cold water doesn't bother me. So like I said, after I'm done with that, I do the ACV rinse that out with cold water. After that, I have some homemade coffee, cold brew done. I pour that into a spray bottle. I spray that into my hair, let that sit for about 5 minutes, so about 2 songs. Again, when I'm ready with that, when I'm doing that, I'm agitating my hair. I also agitated my hair with the apple cider vinegar. You want to always agitate your hair with the apple cider vinegar, break up any sebum, any skin cells, anything like that. Get everything broken up. And you want to do the same thing with the cold brew. Now, the cold brew, you're probably wondering why I started with the apple cider. That's just to get my pH balance and to clear any of the possible extra soap, skin cells off of my hair. So it leaves a clear path for the cold brew coffee. Now, the cold brew coffee, once that's in my hair, what it does is, and the usage for it is it stimulates your hair follicles and your skin. What it does is it gets the blood flowing, and when blood's flowing, it's getting to your hair follicles and your skin, and it brings more oxygen when your blood's flowing to those hair follicles and skin. I want my hair to grow. I'm an older gentleman. My hair isn't thinning or anything like that, like it probably was at once, but I also noticed my hair has gotten thicker since I started doing that. So I like the cold brew, but I agitate my scalp with that. get it ready to go. And the final thing rinse I do, I also agitate my hair with it. I also wash it out with cold water, which is my own rosemary water. The rosemary water that I use, I brew it myself. I store it away in silicone ice trays so it can last longer. Because if you just keep it in a jar, um, that jar of rosemary water will only last for about 5 days before any bacteria starts to settle in, bacteria, fungus, or anything like that. And it's microscopic, you're not going to see it, but it's always suggested to use it within 5 days. But I like to put it in an ice tray, in a silicone ice tray, because you can store it and it doesn't have a chance to go through that process, you know what I mean, to germinate, you know. So that's a good thing. I found that to be helpful and useful. So I make it myself. I put those ice cubes, put it in the ice trays, and the night before I always put them in a small little mason jar. Let 2 ice cubes melt themselves in the refrigerator, not out on the counter, because I like to keep everything chill. I like to keep my ACV chill. I like to keep my cold brew. And I also like my rosemary cold. So once that's in my hair, the rosemary, spray it around, get it in thorough, scrub it in, let that sit for 5 minutes, agitate my hair, let it sit for 5 minutes, 2 songs playing in the background while I'm in the shower, hanging out, you know. And then once that's done, I go ahead and rinse that out with cold water. After that, I get out the shower, dry off, man, you know, do my thing. Let my hair stay a little damp. While it's still damp, I go downstairs and have a final step. I like to also make my own aloe vera mist. In my aloe vera mist that I have, it's aloe vera juice. Not fresh aloe vera, but I have aloe vera juice, rosemary oil, not water, rosemary oil, lavender oil, peppermint oil, and tea tree oil. And I put probably about a little more than half of the aloe vera gel in there. I do about 5 drops of the peppermint because it gets pretty warm and soothing on your scalp, sort of like real soothing, stimulates blood flow as well. The tea tree, what's the best word I could say? Like a disinfectant, it cleans your skin and stuff like that. Any minor cuts or anything like that helps with the healing process, you know, because the whole thing is ideal when we're doing this is to keep our hair follicles, our skin as healthy as possible, healed, not damaged. You know what I mean? I'm not an itcher, but I do rub and I do pat. But you don't know what type of little microscopic things happen that you're not aware of, especially when you're asleep. So tea tree oil is good for that. The lavender oil and the rosemary oil, that's good for hair growth. So I do about 7 drops of the tea tree oil, about 8 to 10 drops, depending on how I'm feeling that day, of the lavender. And the one that I did the most drops is the rosemary oil, because that's even stronger than the lavender. Both of them are great for hair growth. And I'll do anywhere from 11 to 13 drops. Sometimes if I'm real squirrely, I'll go 15, but not past 15 drops of that. The remainder of the space that's left in the bottle that I use, I put water and purified water in there. And you could do everything. Some people do vapor water. People do distilled water, things like that. Choice is yours. I think anything's better than just using regular tap water. So I would suggest that, you know, if you don't have to have things, there's no like must in here. Once again, that's a part of the journey. You don't have to do everything perfect. Just work with what you got and accept that as it is. So once that's done, my hair's still moist, damp. I want to lock in that moisture, that water that's in my hair, the water that's on my roots, the waters that my hair has absorbed and sucked in and took the nutrients from the shampoo, the soap bar that the Free the Roots gave me. How it's absorbed all the apple cider vinegar, the coffee, the rosemary water, and now I sort of let it where it's damp. And it's damp enough, but also dry enough to where I don't have water dripping down my face or anything like that. Then I just go ahead and hit my scalp up. If there were any areas that were real itchy, I try to focus on that area, get it real close, and spray right directly on the scalp, and then come away from it and just sort of mist your hair. Let it get saturated. So those oils, what they do is, since your hair is damp, it helps lock in some of that moisture instead of letting it just go completely away, and it stops your hair from drying out. I'm in Denver, Colorado. We are in fall. It's getting cold, so it's very important for me to keep my hair healthy, not dry, not dehydrated. I drink lots of water. I eat right. I eat fruit. I don't eat carbs or anything like that. I still have my sugar, but I have my cheat on the weekend, and I don't do too much. If I eat chocolate, it's dark chocolate. Try to do things like that as much as possible. I avoid all candies that have like corn starch and all that stuff, cornstarch syrup and things like that. I try to avoid that. I'd rather have a piece of cake made from scratch than some Skittles or something. So, because I know I'm going to cheat half, so I have to be real realistic about what I'm going to eat, but I'm going to at least try to at least have some natural ingredients in those stuff. I don't really eat cake, though. I prefer pie, but I try not to eat that as much as well, so I have those types of things. There's all types of things you could do for substitutes, but on the weekend I cheat, and I cheat for real. So, but I won't do the candy and stuff like that, all those artificial colors, things like that, and that helps my hair grow too. Having a healthy diet, healthy lifestyle. Still trying to recuperate from a car accident from almost 3 years ago, so I don't get to the gym as much as I would like to. Probably get in once, twice a week. I mean, if I were to say sometimes on a monthly scale, I probably only make it 5 times, but I diet well. I still, there's a floor mat. I don't know if you see it right here. This is where I meditate, things like that in this room, and in the mornings. And I like to meditate, pray, and keep my conscience free. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things that I do, and I believe that just keeps me in tune with myself, find some self-acceptance, and get ready for the day. But these are some healthy lifestyles that I already had incorporated before I started this journey. But some things I didn't do until this journey, or right at the same time I was starting the journey, like my dieting. I also fast every day. I don't eat until probably 1 or 2, and I'm done usually about 8:30. You know what I mean? I don't overeat, things like that. One of my bad habits that I kept, I still don't go to sleep early, though. So I need to work on that. Start getting to bed at a more reasonable time, So those are a lot of good things, but overall, I think I do pretty well. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I'm not trying to be perfect, just doing things to the best of my ability, and that's what I got. You know what I mean? So those are my suggestions. Hopefully I answered some questions. If you guys have questions, go ahead, comment below. Also, before I forget, comment below, hit that thumbs up, follow me, subscribe. You know what I mean? And tell a friend, leave a comment, share, subscribe. That's what I could think of right now. I know there's all these things you got to do on YouTube, but hopefully you know what to do and get that done. Please let me know. Hopefully I answered some questions for you. Hopefully it's entertaining. Also, I'm going to be doing this every month on or around the 11th. So if you guys are trying to see a journey of somebody who's actually done it from a, tapered fade to wherever I go with this, continue to tune in, man. No, I don't have no great edits or any of that stuff, but it's real solid, real good work. And, you're guaranteed to get an update, I'm not going to leave you hanging. So I appreciate you if you do share, subscribe, and comment. That would be greatly appreciated. Hey, man, 2 Stokes and I'm out. part 3. I'm not going to put part 1 up. It's just not too good, not good enough. But part 3, let me show you around my head. I almost forgot to do that with you guys. So let me show you around my head, show you what I'm working with today. So as you guys already know, I have that, I have this ribbon, I have this little flat right here, some more flats going all around my very first lock right here. Hopefully you guys can see that, you know, everything there. My hair's starting to web together, so things are starting to connect, you know. It's pretty cool. Hopefully you guys can see everything that's happening. Take you up. Come back to the side one more time. You know, pretty cool, man. It's been a hell of a journey. Much love. That was a short part 3, so just needed to get that in real quick so you guys can see my head.